So Caitlin Clark has won, obviously, College Female Athlete of the Year. I talked about it a little bit earlier. She won the award. She's the first person first basketball player since Maya Moore to win the award twice, who obviously was Caitlin Clark's hero. And obviously, again, she was interviewed, and all she did was talk about how great Lisa Bluder was as a coach. And a lot of people are taking one of the lines that she said as a knock on Christie Sides, and I don't necessarily think that I don't think that everything somebody says positive about one person is meant to be a negative about somebody else. I don't think that the praise Caitlin Clark's given towards Lisa Bluder is necessarily to spite Christie Sides, although it's just not a good look from the outside for Christie Sides at all. And in Christie Sides today, threw Caitlin Clark under the bus again. She threw her under the bus again. Again! But before we get on, if you guys aren't new to the channel, subscribe. I cannot believe we're at 12.1k. We were trying to hit 11.7k. Heck, we were trying to hit 11.5k, I think, by the end of the day. By the end of, today. But that is insane. So thank you guys so much for all the support in the channel recently. It does not go unnoticed. Thank you so much. But anyway, so what she said about Lisa Bluder was, she was talking about how Lisa Bluder let her be her, made sure everyone got the best out of their ability, that she took a team that may not have been the best talented, but all just played together, talking so much about her Iowa team. And a lot of people are thinking, they're saying oh, that's a knock on Christie Sides and the Fever. But nobody's going to go from an Iowa team that was very similar through all 4 years. Gabby Marshall was there with her all 4 years. Sanana was there 3 years. Hayden Martin was there 3 years. And go straight to a team in Indiana and click right away. That's definitely not what she's saying. But at the end of the day, she's still not, or the team is still not clicking like it should, but it's not necessarily a knock on her. But what is a knock on the other person is what Christie Sides has been saying about Caitlin Clark. So when Caitlin Clark was asked about the game, she said it stinks, you can't dwell on it too much, but you can't let it happen again. If we have another situation, the fourth, and we're up 15, you still have to be able to attack and be aggressive. So look, Caitlin Clark saying that, we've still got to be able to be attacking and be aggressive. She didn't have the ball in her hands. So I'm guessing when she's saying can't let it happen again, she wants the damn ball. She wants the damn ball. Let's be real. She wants the damn ball. And they don't win. They don't lose that game if the ball runs through her. They don't. They simply put don't. Don't. She frees up somebody else to get a shot. They don't lose if they score enough points. They don't go 7 minutes without scoring if they run through her. Because just even her gravity, they don't go that long. But Christie Sides, in her questions, she was asked, Christie Sides on the balance for Caitlin Clark shooting and making the right pass. I think sometimes she's a little too unselfish. I think she turns down shots. I'd like her to take some shots that when she comes off, she knows she has the green light. Since when? Since when? You have literally publicly questioned her shot selection. You have publicly told her you don't want her to be her. You have publicly said you don't want Caitlin Clark shooting this stuff she did in college. You don't want Caitlin Clark because she's more that's the way she plays. She shoots the deep ball. She shoots the deep three. That is the way that Caitlin Clark plays basketball. You've said you don't want her to do that. Maybe you want her shooting. She's got the green light to shoot some long twos that maybe she's not comfortable with, but obviously you don't want that. And then here, if Caitlin Clark had talked about the whole one shot in the final 7 minutes Sunday, no. That's it. No. And this is after, obviously, Caitlin Clark saying, we can't let it happen again. You can't dwell on it, but we can't let it happen again. And this is her saying that. We've got to be more aggressive, while her coach has said nothing to her. Has said nothing to her. Focusing on defense, they were pretty bad defensively, but they're a terrible defensive team. But that's because obviously you think Christy Wallace is some lockdown defender, but that's not here nor there. We're not talking about that. But this right here, if you know anything about Caitlin Clark, if you know anything, she's got that Kobe, that MJ mentality, where if she does not believe you are worthy to shoot the ball, she will not be happy with you shooting the ball. If she does not think that you as a player are worthy of taking shots, she will not pass you the ball. Simply put, she had to, those players in Iowa, she had to obviously change her game. She had to, I'm not even going to necessarily say improve the attitude, but she had to change her attitude up a little bit to fit in with her teammates. But at the same time, her teammates had to gain her trust. And these players have to gain her trust. It's very clear she trusted Leah Boston. And even at the start of the year, it was very clear she trusted Leah Boston based on their previously playing with and against each other. It's very clear to players that Caitlin Clark trusts and she doesn't. It's very clear she does not trust Christy Wallace. It's very rare, other than Caitlin Clark dribbling in and kicking Wallace in the corner, she would pass the ball to Christy Wallace. Or she would willingly do it. Obviously she did late in the game, because clearly you've coached it out of her. She's scared to shoot. This is a player who, in fairness, seems to be really coachable. If you've got Caitlin Clark not shooting the ball, it means that you've obviously drilled it into her that she's a pass-first point guard. Because she's not playing like she did in Iowa. She's passing up shots. She's scared to shoot. And she's passing the ball to teammates who you can see her like throwing her arms up to the heavens every time that, like, when Wallace takes a bad shot. Because you don't think that they, like, realistically, not that they don't deserve the shots, but do they deserve the shots? Do they deserve the shots? Because at the end of the day, if somebody's wide open, they're wide open. But if you're wide open and Caitlin Clark's wide open, and if you pass the ball to Caitlin Clark, she's going to be wide open. You pass the ball to Caitlin Clark. It's basketball. Just like if Steph Curry's wide, you can be wide open, but if Steph's wide open, you pass the ball to Steph. If you are a decent shooter, let's just say, hypothetically, you're Jordan Poole. And you get it, and you're kind of open, but you're half open, the defender's coming to you, and Clay's standing there in the corner, or maybe Clay's not the best example recently, but Steph's there in the corner. You should pass the ball to Steph. If you don't pass the ball to Steph, make it or miss, it's the wrong play. And that is the issue with this team, is that Christie Sides coaches this like it's a team of 14-year-olds. Everyone needs to shoot the same amount of shots. No, they don't. The ball needs to be in Caitlin Clark's hands unless somebody is open. She needs to be setting up everything. Aaliyah Boston needs to be that pick and roll player, because Caitlin Clark can set up Aaliyah Boston way better than anyone else can, and Caitlin Clark setting her up is a more efficient play for Boston, her trying to back down. Even if you want to turn Caitlin Clark into a pass-first point guard, that's fine. Just own it. Just own it. Just completely own it. Like Caitlin Clark in an interview being like, I trust all my teammates, even though obviously she doesn't. And that's fine. Christy Wallace shooting 26% from three. Why would you trust that? If you are a high-level player and you are at the top of your sport, why would you trust players that aren't good? That are just there because the coach is friends with them and coach brought them from Atlanta. And now Christie Sides trying to throw Caitlin Clark under the bus again. Like, this is basically her saying she knows she has the green light. This is Christie Sides saying Caitlin Clark knows she can shoot that shot. It's Caitlin's fault she didn't shoot for 7 minutes. Not the fact that you didn't run any plays for 7 minutes. It wasn't about the green light. How many shots did Caitlin Clark pass up in the fourth quarter? You could argue one, and it was the last play of the game where she was coming off right in a position she's not that comfortable in, attacking at an angle she's not comfortable at pulling up from necessarily, and not even allowing her to go to the basket. The play was to get the ball to Aaliyah Boston, and then she was being used as a decoy the rest of the quarter. What do you want about passing up shots? She didn't touch the ball. She needs to touch the ball to pass up shots. I'm sorry, a player needs to touch the ball to shoot. You have no problem with Christy Wallace touching the ball, but you had a problem with Caitlin Clark touching the ball, and now you want to throw her under the bus. If you had to come out and said, I think Caitlin Clark for this team, I think the team works better with Caitlin Clark as a playmaker rather than as a shot, rather than somebody who takes the most shots. We had success winning 4 games in a row with that play style, and I think that's best for the team. That's at least respectable, because you could say, okay, yeah, there's some method to it. You can say, look, I don't agree with it, but there's at least logic there. You saying she's too unselfish and she knows she's the green light. When what are you talking about too unselfish? No one was complaining about her not taking enough shots other than the crazies when she set the franchise assist record. People weren't necessarily, as much as people were complaining about her not only taking one shot, the main reason why people were upset is she didn't touch the ball. You ran nothing through her. You put Erica Wheeler on the floor. You ran everything through Erica Wheeler. That was the issue. It doesn't even matter. Caitlin Clark knows she's a green light. She knows she doesn't have the green light. She knows you're turning her into Vandersloot, and the fact that she's doing that better than you expect, you're now trying to turn her into fucking someone to stand. You're trying to turn her into Christy Wallace on offense. When you try to turn her into Vandersloot or Julie Van Loo, and she's somehow the best point guard in the WNBA at that specific thing. Again, there are better if you consider Ionescu a point guard, Ionescu's better right now, but I don't think she's a true point guard. She's a 2 guard playing the 1 who gets assists because of her teammates. I think they're different types of players. But as far as true point guards go, Chelsea Gray's not healthy. She's been the best. She has turned herself into the best pass-first point guard in the WNBA. Maybe not the best point guard per se, because there are some scoring guards that might better. The best pass-first point guard in the WNBA. She has turned herself into that. And now, after spending the whole preseason being like, I don't like her shot selection, she takes long twos, she's not going to get the stuff, she's in college. And now you're suddenly like, when people are questioning her not shooting shots, you're like, well, she knows she has the green light. That's not on me. That's on her. She knows I'm going to let her shoot the ball. No, you aren't. You're not even, not only are you not giving her the green light to shoot the ball, you're not even letting her, you didn't even let her touch the ball in the clutch. You didn't even let her touch the ball during that run. And then maybe it was, oh, Caitlin, go take us home at the end of the game when she's out of rhythm. You did not even let her touch the ball. This is absolutely pathetic interviews by Christie Sides. Throwing Caitlin Clark again and again. Hopefully she means it. A confident Clark. No, she doesn't mean it. Because it doesn't matter how green a light Caitlin Clark has. If you run your entire offense for 7 minutes where you don't score, where she does not touch the ball, because you want to run through Erica Wheeler and run a damn play for Christy Wallace down 4. If you want to run a damn play for Christy Wallace down 4, shut the hell up about her being too unselfish and green light. You're the one that is not letting her touch the ball. How can you be selfish or unselfish when your job is to run around like a mad woman, hopefully have a defender dive out to you so you can free up Christy Wallace, who seems to be your favorite player? What about being unselfish is that? The only thing that you could argue she's being a little bit too unselfish is her saying, yes, coach, instead of saying, screw this, give me the ball, I'm doing my own thing. That is the only thing she's being unselfish. The only way you could argue Caitlin Clark is being unselfish is because she's listening to you. It's because she's listening to you. She's playing how you want to play her. This is an absolute joke.